Welcome to March, that magical time of year filled with buzzer beaters and bracket busters, where dreams are made, hearts are broken, and one team gets to cut down the nets at the Final Four. 26 years ago, the Kansas Jayhawks, led by a senior named Danny Manning, snuck into the tourney with 11 losses. They snatched Cinderella's slipper and went on a run for the ages, capped with an improbable 83-79 win over number 1 Oklahoma in the national championship game. Manning's line that night: 31 points, 18 rebounds, 5 steals. Danny and the Miracles was born and lives on in NCAA tournament lore. And it all began growing up in a household that treasured fun, embraced effort, and stressed sportsmanship. Specialization, pressure, and win-at-all-cost attitudes weren't welcome in this home.
I grew up playing all sports. Whatever season it was, that's the sport we played. And I just remember being with my friends and having fun. And whether it was organized baseball or sandlot baseball, organized basketball or pickup basketball or at the park, I just remember hanging out with my friends and having fun and competing. And just the joking around and the friendships and the camaraderie of being around your buddies.
These days, Manning is the head coach at Tulsa, but when he takes a peek back at growing up, he realizes how fortunate he was to have his dad along for the ride, coaching him along the way. He was an assistant coach during Danny's career at Kansas, and the knowledge he imparted about always doing your best and respecting the opposition, among many other lessons, has helped define him today.
My father was my biggest critic, but he's also my biggest fan. And I realized that. And, at times it was challenging, it was hard, but it made me a better person, it made me a better player in my sport, and I'm very fortunate for that experience. I'm just very fortunate, to have my dad to play for him. He coached me, and he showed me the way, he taught me how, and all the other coaches, teaching me the fundamentals, helping me understand the ins and outs of the games and things of that nature. Holding me accountable as a young man is probably just as important as what they taught me. Dad said all the time, go out and play hard. Play hard. And some days it's not going to be your day. You got to deal with it. That's part of life. And you congratulate that person who beat you that day or got the best of you, but you can also say, hey, I look forward to competing against you again. And hopefully it's a different outcome the next time if you put in the work to change it, to dictate a different outcome. I even coached my kids' teams growing up, and we had an understanding. I'm going to be a little bit harder on you than I am on other kids. And my father had that same understanding with me, and it worked out well from the standpoint of pushing and challenging me to be the best that I could be that particular day. But when you got home, you kind of left it alone, and you moved on and you talked about different things. And for us, it was something that we didn't continue to bring up over and over at home. We kind of left it on the field or left it on the court.
Manning spent 15 years in the NBA. He earned a bronze medal with the 1988 U.S. Olympic team. He played for and learned from coaching giants like Larry Brown and John Thompson. He took what he liked from those coaches and other coaches he played for throughout the years and used their approach when coaching his own kids and their teammates in youth sports and now on the college sidelines. It's about connecting with kids and fueling them for a productive journey through life.
I looked at the different things that coaches did, and hey, you know what? I like this. I'm going to use this when I coach my kids' teams. Or, I didn't like this, I'm not going to use it. So I think a lot of it is just feel. A lot of it is the type of kids that you're working with and the sport that you're working with. But the biggest deal is kids going out and putting it all on the line and knowing that, hey, I did the best I could today. And today our team was successful and we won, or we weren't as successful as I wanted us to be. I got to work harder to make it happen. And if you have that mentality growing up in youth sports, you're going to be successful in life. Because all the things that we talk about in athletics and sports mirrors life. Working hard, teamwork, being unselfish, going out and working for the greater good of the whole. All these are things that you're going to have to use in your workplace when you get older and you're navigating life. Teach, encourage, emphasize. Teach, encourage, emphasize. And You know, on our staff, we call that being teed up. All of our coaches want to be teed up every day at practice. You want to teach, encourage, emphasize. And you want to applaud or recognize an action that you want to see repeated by one of your players. So if somebody does something as small as dive on the floor for a loose ball and gets our team an extra possession, you acknowledge that. You congratulate them for making that effort, and hopefully it'll be a repeated action.
Danny Manning gets it. He understands the powerful role youth sports can play in a child's development when coaches and parents don't lose sight of what it's all about. By the way, he hates the Danny and the Miracles name that's forever attached to the 1988 title team. He's all about team, no player above another. Danny lost his father a couple of years ago, but the lessons he learned from him about playing, competing, and respecting others lives on and serves as a wonderful reminder for anyone stepping forward to coach a youth team this spring that if your team is doing its very best every time out, that's what it's all about.
At the end of the day, you got to be able to say, hey, I did the best I could do, and maybe today it wasn't good enough. I'll go back tomorrow, I'll practice, I'll get better, and hopefully the next time we compete, it's a different situation. But that's just a part of it. You know, every day you go out and do the best that you can do, and that's all that any coach or any parent can ask for.